Hey guys, what is up? Lefty back here again. And I wanted to do a video about left-handed guns for left-handed shooters because being a left-handed shooter myself, I kind of noticed there was an absence on YouTube about a lot of this information about this stuff. And I don't know, kind of wanted to give my opinions and impressions on it. So first and foremost, right away, this is going to be my personal opinion and preference based off of my personal experiences. And first, again, it's always going to be personal preference when it comes to this stuff. I mean, it's your life, you defend it how you want, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm going to give the lame answer right away. The best gun for left-handed users is the gun that you can shoot the best. So that's whatever gun, whatever platform, whatever caliber that you can shoot the best, that's the gun that you should have and carry, or put in your home, whatever philosophy we're talking about here. I'm going to go a broad stroke here with regards to home defense and CCW, or a concealed carry option. Like, for instance, I have a Glock 17 here. You know, that might be more of a home defense gun or a duty gun, but you know, you can still apply it to like a Glock 19 or a Glock 26 if you want to take it that far. And the same thing with the M&P over here. You can take the compact and you can apply it to a CCW kind of philosophy. I'm just going to give you a broad stroke in my personal opinion. So, okay, so the first three handguns that I would recommend anybody that's left-handed to actually look at is the Smith & Wesson M&P, the Walther PPQ, and the FNS, I believe. And the main reason why I choose these guns is there are a couple reasons. One is they're all striker fire. That's a big one for me. Two is that they have a lot of ambidextrous features, and three, it's a brand that I would trust. So those are my personal opinions. Now, I don't have an FNS here because I don't own it, but all these three guns on the table I do own, and the amount of time that I spend between these two are about equal. Obviously, the Glock, I carry that one on a daily basis, so I have a lot more trigger time and a lot more personal experience with it. The reason why the Glock is here because of what I said earlier. It's all about what you train and what you can shoot the best. I'm going to go through both of these guns and give the reasons why and what I look for in a lefty gun or just an ambi gun in general. And then we'll talk about why I still choose to carry the Glock, which isn't technically ambi because that's especially a Gen 3 as well. So the first thing that I would recommend to all left-handed users is you can look for ambi mag releases, like for the Smith & Wesson M&P. You can switch it over, same with the Glock Gen 4s. However, I always keep mine on the left-hand side just because that's what I've gotten used to. I got really good with using my middle finger to release the magazine, and that's just what I continue to do because I don't have the biggest hands in the world, and especially my thumb. This one, I could probably reach it if it was swapped over, but the Glock's a little bit more chunky, have a harder time doing that. But I would recommend doing that because, like for instance with the Glock, sorry for bumping the camera there. For instance with the Glock, I don't have to worry about actually making it a left-handed gun. So every Glock that I pick up, obviously if it's been modified it will be different, but every stock Glock that I will pick up, I will be able to shoot with 100% familiarity because my gun is exactly the same setup. So that is why I would recommend keeping the mag release on the left-hand side and just getting used to using your middle finger and or ring finger and or index to release the magazine. Another feature, what I would like if you don't have a reversible magazine, is having a ambi magazine release. So this has more of the German style, which is more of like a paddle. So I can use my thumb here or I can use my middle finger over there and release the magazine. That is also an awesome feature. So that's something also to take into consideration. The FNs, I believe they have that feature. Another big thing is slide lock. So the big thing about the M&P is that it has ambi slide locks. Same with the PPQ and same with the FN. Like I said though, if you train, you don't necessarily need these. Now, why would you want a slide lock? Now, a lot of people like to do, when they reload, they like to load the magazine in and then drop the slide forward technique. I mean, you can do the slide release. I mean, there's no problem with that. It's just my personal preference is I seat the magazine and then run the slide back. But why I was also looking forward to having an ambi slide lock is so in case my gun gets a double feed, being able to lock the slide back, drop the magazine, and then rack it a couple times, and then feed it and gas it up and go is a pretty big thing. And now having it on the side right here is obviously a huge benefit than having to kind of jerk the Glock around here to make it work. So if I take the Glock here, obviously we don't have anything ambi on this side, so what you have to do is you just have to run your finger up, which doesn't actually take that much pressure. So like I said, training is a big thing. This is a little bit more of a dexterous skill, and under pressure you might not be able to do it. So again, it's a good thing to know certain things about your guns and then train it how you're going to fight. So that's pretty much what that's all about. And also, real quick, I'm going to talk about why I don't carry these guns in particular. This is just, again, personal preference. One thing I do not like about the M&P is the trigger. I don't like the hinge mechanism. I'm just not a big fan of it. I love the ergonomics, although this is extremely slick. As you can see, I've kind of stippled it a little bit here and on the front. But yeah, it's a little bit too slick for my taste, but it is a very good feeling gun in my hands. However, I just cannot get over that trigger. And you know, when buying a $600 gun, you know, it would be nice to have a good trigger. I mean, the trigger is usable, obviously, and you can train around a bad trigger and get good with it. However, my personal opinion, if I'm paying $600 for a defensive handgun, I don't want to have to drop another about $120 on an Apex trigger kit. Not really my thing. The PPQ, this has probably the best stock trigger that I've personally used. I mean, it's amazing. I love this trigger on this gun. The grip texture is extremely nice. Also good ergonomics. The bore axis on it is just a little bit higher than I would like. It's a nice thing about the M&P and the Glock is they both have extremely low bore axes. Everything else, I mean, it's a good gun. I would definitely take this into a fight if I actually needed to. But I don't know. All these guns that I've had are extremely reliable, but again, it just comes down to personal preference. The sucky thing about the PPQ is that you cannot find too many things to support it. So you can't find too many sites, you can't find too many holster companies that are making CCW and the waistband holsters. There are a couple out there, and I do have one from Bravo Concealment, but it's a little bit trickier to find stuff. All these guns pretty much run at the same price point, you know, around $550 for average about this. But the magazine cost is another thing too. If you're going to carry this gun for defense, you need to train with it and you need to run a lot of rounds through it. And one big thing that's going to wear out is magazines. So I don't want to have to buy a $60 magazine for a gun that I just paid $600 for. So when looking at that, your Glocks are definitely going to have the cheapest magazines out there. Especially considering that Magpul is going to be coming out with their Glock P Mag 17, which I'm definitely interested in trying those bad boys out. But otherwise, you got this one, which is pretty much $40. The PPQs, I believe, are around 45-ish, somewhere around there. I mean, they're going to vary, but most of these ones are going to be about 35, 30, about 40 to 45, and the FN is going to be about 40 to 45. So take that for what it's worth. But I mean, that's pretty much it. I gave you a very quick kind of overview on what I look for in particular with a certain defensive handgun, or just kind of my philosophies around a defensive handgun. And all these guns I have carried inside the waistband concealed, so I know I didn't really mention about like, oh, you can also get the compact, and you can get the PPS, I believe, or the 26 or the 19, whatever. You guys can do that. I can effectively conceal these size of handguns, so that's pretty awesome as well. So, but you know, there it is. That's my personal opinions. Take it for what you will. This has been Lefty. Thank you guys for watching, and be good.